Okay, in this video, we will explain how a branch instruction will be executed using our single bus organization of data path. So, a branch instruction replaces the contents of the PC with the branch target address, and the branch target address is obtained by adding the current value of PC with an offset X, which is given in the branch instruction. That is, after fetching this branch instruction, the PC value will be, the current value of PC will be PC plus 4. Then that PC plus 4 will be added with the offset X, and that will give the branch target address. Next, we can consider the actions during execution of an unconditional branch instruction. Browsing starts as usual with the fetch phase. Fetch phase ends when the instruction is loaded into instruction register in step 3. Then the decoding circuit will decode the instruction, and the offset value is extracted from the instruction register by the instruction decoding circuit, which will also perform sign extension if required. Since the value of the updated PC is already available in register Y during the fetch phase, the offset X is gated onto the bus in step 4, and an addition operation is performed. The result, which is the branch target address, is loaded into the PC in step 5. These are the control sequence for an unconditional branch instruction, and we will explain this control sequence with the help of our block diagram. Okay, this is our block diagram corresponding to our single bus organization of data path. Then we can consider the first set of control signals. First one is PC out. That is, PC out is activated. So the current value of PC is now is available on the internal processor bus. Then next is MAR. So this signal is activated. So the current PC value will be captured into MAR. Then read signal is issued. That is the memory system. The control decoder and control logic will issue a read signal. This will issue a read signal. Read signal will be issued. So the memory system will initiate memory read operation. Then at the same time, select 4 is activated. That is here. Okay, the select 4 is activated. So the constant 4 will be selected. Then so the A input is constant 4, and the B input is PC value, current PC value. Then add signal is issued. So this PC value will be added with constant 4, and PC plus 4 will be available on the output of the ALU. Then Zin is activated. So that value will be captured into our Z register. Then during the next clock cycle, Z out is activated. That is, this signal is activated. So the value inside the Z register will be now available on the internal processors. Then PC in is activated. So that value will be captured into PC. That is, PC value is now updated into or incremented by 4. Then Y in is activated. So the PC plus 4 value is captured into Y register also. Then MDR in E. MDR in E is activated. So this memory bus will be connected with the MDR. And whenever the data is available on the memory bus, that will be captured into MDR. And wait for memory function complete. That is, already we know that memory read operation or write operation will require a number of clock cycles. In our case, read operation is requested, and so the control logic will wait for the memory operation to become completed. When the memory system will complete the read operation, that will be informed through MFC, memory function complete signal, to the control logic. So the control logic will identify that okay, memory operation, read operation is now complete, and that requested value is available on the external memory bus, and that will be available in the MDR register also. So during the next clock cycle, MDR out will be activated. Okay, this signal will be activated. So the content of MDR is now on internal processor bus. So that will reach here also. Then IR in is activated. So that requested value will be now available in IR. That is, we have completed the instruction fetch phase. That is, the current instruction is now stored into instruction register. So the decoder can decode that instruction during the next clock cycles. Okay. The decoder and the control logic identifies that okay, this instruction inside the instruction register is a branch instruction or unconditional branch instruction. Then based on that, it will issue corresponding control signals during the next step. So during the fourth step, offset field of IR out will be activated. That is, offset field of IR out is activated, and the offset field of the instruction present within the instruction will be available on the internal processor bus through this switch. So that will reach to the B input of the ALU also. Then select Y is activated. So this Y register content will be selected, and that will be available on the A input of the ALU. What is the content of the Y register? That is the PC plus 4, incremented value of the PC that is captured during the previous steps. Okay. Then add. Next we will issue add control signal to the ALU. So this will be added, and that will be available on the output of the ALU. That is actually our branch target address. That is PC plus 4 plus offset field in the offset field of the instruction. Then Z is activated, so that will be captured into Z. So now Z contains the branch target address. Then during the next step or fifth step, Z out is activated. So this branch target address will be available on the internal processor bus. Then PC in is activated. So this line is activated. So the branch target address will be available on the PC register, and the content of the PC will be replaced with the branch target address. Next instruction executed will be from the branch target address. End. So these are the control signals generated during the execution of an unconditional branch instruction. Next, we can consider the control sequence for a conditional branch instruction. In the case of conditional branch instruction, we need to check the status of the condition codes before loading a new value into the PC. For example, if we are considering branch on negative instruction, step 4 will become offset field of IR out, select Y, add Z in. If n is equal to 0, then end. N is equal to 0 means not negative number. Then in that case, we can finish the execution of this instruction with this step itself. That is, we are not updating the PC value with the branch target address. If n is not equal to 0, then the fifth step will also be executed. That is, here this is the fourth step, offset field of IR out, select Y, add Z in. If n is equal to 0, then end. That is, we will finish the instruction execution here itself, and next during the next clock cycle, next instruction will be executed. But if n is equal to 1, that is, if that is a negative one, then we have to branch. So in that case, fifth step will also be executed. That is, Z out PC in. That means PC will be replaced with the branch target address end. Then next instruction will be executed from the branch target address. Okay.